Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Ah, man, I definitely was not expecting this cheat magician to be such an interesting show in the regards of them kind of not wanting to go into war and, kind of become the people that they've heard about that, kind of don't ever recover from what they see and what they've done. So it's kind of a very, very cool place to put them because not everybody gets that even conscious decision when it comes down to war. Sometimes it's something you literally have to do, and because of that, wow, okay, that was fun. Because of that, it's a very, very, dark thing to just throw on some characters who never ever, participated in a war, let alone taking the life of humans and stuff like that. So we come to the point where now it's like, if you don't do this, you're almost betraying the people that you've been working with this whole time. Like you're almost sending them to their deaths because not only are you going into a battle where they're going in wanting the other side's, completely destroyed and stuff like that, you're also going into it with the mindset of, I'm going to try not to kill anybody. I want everybody to have a chance to get out of this alive, is kind of the direction they're going in with their thought process. And that alone is, a good reason why these characters could get taken out at any given time. And I don't think they understand that, right? Like, just like in war, I think the best example I can give you of like the most savage thing that I still to this day kind of believe to be true is the fact that if you're called into action, like I was saying, some people don't even get the choice of like, I don't want to kill anybody because it just doesn't seem moral. Like, there's people in the war that literally are going to only be able to live their lives and their families have better lives because they enlisted themselves. Like they didn't have the choice because of financially, and with the war showing up, it's actually one of the most fattening things for a soldier to do for his family in certain time periods of when war was to be in there, have, the government taking care of your family, sending whatever types of food and stuff like that to them while you can't work for them, while you can't work for uh, your family to just make money to bring on the table. You're out there fighting for the country, something that, isn't necessarily supposed to bring you money, so they have to take care of them. And that was kind of the really, basic thing to do back in the day. But now we have all this technology, we have all this information of what happens to war, what happens to people, who experience these travesties and like having to do things or see things that they shouldn't have to see. All of this stuff is could come to light because of how the show itself is built up. Because the show makes it feel like these people, not just some anime characters you're watching and, oh no, they heard a baby cry, so they're gonna run out and try to save it or something. Yeah, they're gonna do that, but at the same time, they're gonna try to figure out who would have left their baby out there and why. That's how this show kind of feels to me. It feels like every extra step is being taken, and I can appreciate that a lot, seeing how I've watched so many shows feel like they go for realism with their characters, and then after a while they kind of just alienate them, almost as if they didn't know they were doing that. Like they were almost doing well enough to make you think that they're good, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, this guy is kind of lame. Like he like I don't know. I don't have a full blown example to give people like right now, but I can tell you that out of all the shows I've watched, this one feels like it's putting the most detail into the smallest things. So hearing their complaints about war, hearing him wanting to, do something that is completely, like bad to people who fight these wars, to people who, dang, I thought I could have healed real quick. To people who have, spent day in and day out just preparing for death, and then you have these two young kids that are like, well, I don't want to kill anybody. I'm just gonna save them all. I'm the best. It kind of just showed how immature and um, how much, danger they're really in everyday life in this world. Like war now is something that can just happen. It's sure they were preparing and, doing all that stuff, but at the same time, it just popped off. Like they showed up, they attacked, you're at war, and their troops weren't even all there. So that also goes to show you, like, in these wars, they're willing to throw out sacrificial pieces to pretty much gauge you. Like, why wouldn't they send every single person and their mom to fight unless the people that they sent out there had some kind of death wish? Which, yeah, he was not only forewarned about the people that have been, put up in the kingdom from a foreign land or far away from wherever they're from. They're also the main reason why these people like didn't die as much as they should have, and not to mention the portrayal between the own units when it comes down to sending. I guess he sent these people out. No, he knew that they didn't have a chance, and not only did he know that, he then gives them all something that will weaken them tremendously, and while it's weakening them, he just kind of shows up and he's like, "Well, I guess you failed. I gave you these rings that can make all your trash, army people even more powerful than normal people, and yet here you are and you failed." So they kind of treated it almost as if, how did that other melee miss? They treated it almost like they knew it wasn't going to be good for him, and because they knew that, he just waited and bided his time. Somehow he was there at the fight the whole time. He's just like, oh well, if he loses, I'm going in and taking this man's life. Like where he was hiding the whole time is beyond me. I think he might have had one of these cloaks that were given to the lower life people and stuff like that. So that would make sense that he has some type of connection with the guy who literally is playing kind of both sides of the field, it seems like, or maybe he's not playing either side and he has his own side. Um, that's a really kind of other talking point about this show is not only are they making it, straightforward with their battles and showing you how our characters feel about the battles and how maybe, some people feel about going to war compared to others. All of this stuff is being added up, and next thing you know, we're looking at someone who really wants to, change the way this world is. Not only that, he's lost somebody dear to him in this world, even with these cheat powers he keeps, boasting about and flexing. Um, but where, you know what I mean? Like, where do you go from here? Where can you, um, be powerful and protect the people that you want to protect? You got to find a way. And this guy has not, because he's still doing, the same things that he could have done during, trying to save the girl that passes away. But at the same time, he couldn't, so. Or not that he couldn't. At the same time, he does use a lot of power, and she still winds up dying, So regardless of what you kind of can do in this world, you still find yourself at a loss because of, you have no understanding. Not only do you have no understanding, you're also not taking out everybody like you probably should be. So there you go. This show truly is giving us a lot of different looks at, how these characters are reacting to every single thing, not just one thing. And I think that's to be praised. That is to be, at least looked at a little bit differently and not be just lug it all together with everything else that we've seen over time. At least the show is really trying to go into all of it, and I like that. I like that it's willing to do that. So if you guys do have a different opinion, let me know down low in the comments. We have been watching this show almost until the end now, so the end times are here, and we're gonna just have to see how well this show can do when it comes down to the end all be all. Oh my God, hard and iron, the hardest thing to find in the game, baby. But yeah, overall, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single person that just stopped by, give your boy a view just to give a view, or drop by and give a like just to give a like, because sooner or later I'm going to have this channel looking quite a bit different with intros and stuff like that. It's just I just need a computer and a way to edit all this stuff to make it so much better for you guys. So if you are one of those people that stick it in from here and you get to see that change, oh my God, this guy looks sick. I would appreciate your patience and stuff, and not only that, just your time of even spending on this channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with all that being said, I will definitely talk to you guys in the next one. So with that, peace.